Welcome back to my channel, guys. So today I want to showcase an amazing product that I just received that makes gaming via emulation or other retro-styled games so much better and seamless, in my opinion. So we're going to be taking a look at the Bliss Box adapter. This device is a hub that plugs into a USB port that requires no drivers or software, that allows you to use almost any original video game console controller you may have to play your games via emulation. Simply just plug and play. It works with your Windows PC, OS X, Linux, Raspberry Pi, and most Android devices. It allows up to 4 players via the ports on the USB hub. These ports may look familiar as they are HDMI ports, but these HDMI ports are used to interface with your selected controller instead of being used for video. So essentially, it is not a USB hub because there are no USBs here other than the one that you're plugging into your PC or whatever device. So if you're looking to use your original controllers from your classic systems on your PC or other compatible devices and operating systems, this will definitely be an interesting product. No reconfiguring controls. No worrying about having to remove USB devices from your PC every time you want to change a controller. Simply a seamless, modular-based gaming experience using your retro controllers in a new way. The possibilities for the way you incorporate a device like this into your gaming setup can be limitless. I've seen people using these for their Hyperspin arcade builds, mini bar tops, and so much more. Pretty amazing stuff, guys. So there are different options you can purchase for the Bliss Box, but probably the most popular would be the 4-player basic kit. That kit is going to include the 4-play hub, the USB cable, 2 NES cables, 2 Super Nintendo cables, 2 Nintendo 64 cables, 4 GameCube cables, 2 DB9 cables for either your Sega Genesis, Master System, SG-1000, Atari systems, Commodore, ColecoVision, Intellivision, 3DO, Sinclair Spectrum, and tons more. That cable supports a lot of different systems. You also get 2 Sega Dreamcast cables, 2 Sega Saturn cables, and 2 Sony PlayStation/PlayStation 2 cables. Pretty nice little bundle. So they also do have other cable adapters you can purchase separately or in other kind of packs. So they do have Wii cables, TurboGrafx 16 cables, PC Engine cables, but those are listed as TurboGrafx Mini. You can also get these other ones that they're not cables, they're adapter boards, and that would be for Computer Game Port, Neo Geo, Jaguar, and Pippin. So you can purchase the 4-play hubs separately and only buy the adapters you want, which is a great option in case the basic kit comes with cables you can't use or need. But obviously, the kit will give you the best bang for your buck when you add the total cost together. The individual adapters or cables can run anywhere from $2 to $15 a piece. But you can also grab 4 packs for individual systems if you desire, or even other bundle packs they have listed on their site. So the basic 4-play kit currently goes for about $120 and includes a total of 18 controller cables. If you are curious on compatibility for any specific controllers, they do have a compatibility list on their website, and I will put a link to that in the description so you can peep it out. But the compatibility on this device, in my opinion, is simply amazing. Specific controller functions like PlayStation 2's pressure-sensitive buttons, Dreamcast VMU, rumble motors on most controllers are all recognized and functional with the Bliss Box. Also, the firmware on this device is upgradable in case more items are added to the compatibility list down the road, so that's definitely a plus. Now, what makes this device extremely intuitive is that it will recognize the specific controller you are using for that console and map the buttons accordingly. But you can also use any controller you would like for any console's games and the Bliss Box will map that controller to fit the playstyle as best as possible for that system. The neat thing with this is if, for example, you're playing Nintendo 64 and decide you want to use a GameCube controller instead, you can simply just hot swap the controller from Nintendo 64 to GameCube, and it will function as expected without any configurations needed. If you unplug a controller while playing with the Bliss Box, it will automatically pause the game for you. Once a controller is plugged into the hub, it typically takes about 1 to 3 seconds to recognize the controller you are using, but typically not very long. Each port does have a reset button you can use in case you need the Bliss Box to essentially disable and re-enable that port like it was just plugged in. Using the Bliss Box for me has been an awesome experience. I love being able to use original controllers when playing games via emulation. Of course, there are a lot of options for controllers out there, and many people would be happy with just a simple solution like using an Xbox 360 style controller. But I do feel like this device has a home for many gamers out there. There is nothing like using an original controller to play your games, in my opinion. My testing has mostly been using RetroArch, and I've had no issues at all. I did upgrade my firmware to the latest version, which is something I definitely recommend doing in order to have the best compatibility and function possible. Using the Bliss Box and RetroArch is simply amazing. I've had to do no configurations or setup during my time with the Bliss Box. But to note, RetroArch has partnered with them to ensure the best compatibility for a no-fuss solution to using original controllers. They've incorporated coding into RetroArch to allow the Bliss Box to function without any kind of external software or wonky workarounds. To me, it's simply amazing since RetroArch will recognize the Bliss Box as 4 separate controller inputs instead of just one. Hey, this makes it even more seamless and easy to use. For other solutions besides RetroArch, as long as the emulator has HID standards incorporated, the Bliss Box should work without issue. Now, the team at Bliss Box, they're always looking to better the products they offer, and I know if you find, certain controllers that aren't working or not, they're not on the compatibility list, you can reach out to them and they'll see what they can do, in order to get them functional and possibly update with a new firmware release. So that's definitely pretty sweet. Now, there's so much more we can talk about with the Bliss Box and its functionality, but for today, I think we've covered most of the basics. In the future, I will do some more content utilizing this device and explain how it complements other projects I am working on. But I'm really digging what the Bliss Box can do and how it has made retro gaming an even more awesome experience when playing on emulators. This was one of my biggest problems playing retro gaming via emulation. I prefer to use original controllers, and while there are lots of USB versions of classic style controllers, most of them just do not hold up to the quality the originals do. So I was really excited to get to play with the Bliss Box and all the adapters that I received. I've barely scratched the surface of what I can do with these things, so I can't wait to share even more with you guys. I'm going to be testing these out on Android devices, on Raspberry Pi single board computers running RetroPie. The list goes on and on. I'm going to test it as much as I can with other various devices and emulators. Like I said earlier in this video, I see a ton of possibilities for projects with the Bliss Box. People using it for their all-in-one, arcade machines or gaming machines to be able to use controllers per system. And that's a big thing for me. So if you want any more information about this product, I will have their website linked in the description. Really do appreciate you guys spending a few minutes of your time with me today as we check the Bliss Box out. Do me a favor and slap that like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And for sure, make sweet love to that notification bell to stay up to date with my channel and everything we do here. Also, hey, follow me on Twitter if that's something you're into. We are currently doing a PlayStation Classic giveaway on Twitter, so follow me at Madlittlepixel. Check out the pinned tweet to get all the details you need to enter. Thanks, guys. And with that said, I will catch you next time. Peace out, bye-bye, and boom!